Hello there, this is a new video series. It's all about the tutorials and showcasing what I've done in my game Empty Space, which is going to be out in a few months for PC. So the mobile version is already out. If you haven't played it, the link's already in the description and you can just go ahead and play it for free. This is the PC version though. So what I want to show you right now is about the ripples on the surfaces where it's raining, so where it's actually pretty wet. So here the surface is not quite wet, but here, for example, the surface is kind of wet. So this is the effect that you're going to see. I mean, you can't see it well in here, so let me go ahead and find something really so they're like ripples coming out of the where the characters actually stepping on, and it's coming from the surface shader, so it's quite good. And this place is not wet. We need to do it on some material that's actually wet, and it's already it's got no render target, so it's pretty cheap. Yeah, it's quite cool. Okay, so this is the showcase part. Was the showcase part. If you've been here for the showcase part, that's it. You don't need to continue. But if you've been here for the tutorial part, then the next part is for you. Okay, so this is what I've added to the material itself. It's not quite, I can't actually see. So I'm using a vertex color. I've painted all the meshes, all the floor meshes with vertex painting, so you don't need to actually do that. Not this one. You don't need to do that, but for me, for example, I'm using this material. If you want to do the vertex painting part, you need to have a lot of other things added to it, but let's say that this is a completely basic material, something that you can actually go ahead and right click and create a new material for yourself and name it something. This is the material that you want to use. It's a surface, it's opaque, nothing fancy, everything's a default value. What we're using right now for the ripples effect is only based on the normal input of the material. So I've already created my ripples shader, which is for the rain particles, so when they hit the ground, I mean, not when they hit the ground, it's kind of a fake simulation. It simulates the ripples that when the rain is coming and hitting the ground, like a ripple, completely different ripples effect, which is a lot smaller than what we've already had, and a completely different one. I'm adding what I'm gonna create to this ripple shader. I know it sounds a bit complicated, but let me explain a little bit further again. Okay, this is what you are here for. We need a player position. We need to create a material collection though, so right click, go into the material parameter collection. Where was it? Material parameter collection. Click on it, name it something. I'm just gonna go ahead and open up my material collection. I have two scalar parameters, so just add two scalar parameters. One is called ripple start time, which is default. The default value is 0. The second one is ripple enabled. The default value is 1. This is to I'm gonna explain later. I don't need to make everything more complicated at the moment. We need another vector parameter as well. Vector parameter is a 4D vector, so it's got 4 inputs in it, RGB, A. We don't need A. We're gonna mask A out later though, and everything's set to 0. It's called player position, where actually setting the player position every time the character is moving though. So that's something else to note. So you'll find it in the content browser, you'll just drag it into the scene, and then you select player position, Control C, Control V, you select ripple enabled, and then copy it one more time and select the other one, ripple start time. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna show you what I've done, and then you can just go ahead and do it exactly the same. First of all, I'm gonna show you, if you know what you're doing, and you don't really need to listen to what I'm going to say, because I'm not gonna say anything important here. I'm just gonna go ahead and show the nodes. This is for you. It's like a photograph. You can just pause the video here and copy everything and just connect this one to normal, or add this normal to another normal if you have one. Okay, so we need the player position. As I've shown you, this is the material collection we have. The parameter name is player position. We need to mask it out, so type in mask, component mask, this one here, and then we need RGB. We don't need A, as I told you, this is a float, a vector 4, or a float 4 in this case. We don't need the A parameter, we only need the X, Y, Z. And then we need the world position, so type in world position, and then subtract, type in subtract, subtract the world position by this one. And then we need the length, just type in length, and then subtract length by time, just type in time, you don't need to do anything else. This is a material collection called ripple start time, subtract time by it. It's for the animation of the ripples when they just get bigger in time. And then hold M or right click and type in multiply, it doesn't matter. For the multiply node, multiply it by a parameter. Hold S and type in ripple speed, as you can see here, ripple speed. The value I found that works really well is 150. And then in this case we have two subtract nodes. One is going to be subtracted this from this, and then the other one is, well, actually go for the same. I'm sorry, I thought they're opposite. So just subtract this from this part in just 2 times. And then multiply the upper one by a ripple frequency. The default value for me is 0.03, and then use as default sign, just type in sign. The sign is a default one, period is the default value. Then multiply it by a ripple amplitude. This is what I've called ripple amplitude. These are scalar parameters. Just hold S and you got one, or you can just type in scalar parameter like this. Ripple amplitude is 10 for me. Multiply it by what you have here, and then multiply it by the lower one. And lower one is, you have to divide this by thickness, ripple thickness. It's always the same law. If you want to do change the thickness or do something like a fading, just divide it by something. And this is a scalar parameter. For me it's 210, and then you have a 1 minus like this, and saturate, and then you have to multiply these two together. Multiply, and then multiply it by a 3 vector. Hold 3 on your keyboard, and then the value is 0 for R, 0.067954 for G, and then 1 for B. Or we just want something blue actually, because we have something like this, but we need it to be blue because we're using it as a normal. So that's it. And then multiply it by ripple enabled. This is the material collection we have. It's called ripple enabled, and multiply it by it, and we're gonna change this one later on in the blueprint. And then add this to your normal part in the normal input, or add it to any normal map you have. And then we're going to the character blueprint class. For me it's called third person character 1. I always do everything in third person characters, so I don't really mess up the naming convention. And then you have to go into the move, or wherever you're doing the move logic. So what we want here is when the player is moving the character, the effect works the what I've shown you, the variable, the ripple enabled variable is enabled, and then when the character is not moving, the variable is not enabled. Okay, and we need to set the player position and ripple start time as well. So to do that, you just need to type in set vector parameter value, as you can see here, value, this one right here, and then type in, find the collection you have, MC ripples, or just find it like this. You can just select it in the content browser and select use the asset in like this, parameter name, player position, and then you have to get the actor location. As you can see, let me show you location, and then split everything and split the pin, and then X goes into the RGB like so. And then we need to do the ripple start time. This one is a scalar parameter, so set scalar parameter value, and again use the assets. It's called start time, and this one is get game time in seconds. Just right click and type that and connect it to the parameter value. This one's not what I need actually. And for the animation I wanted to show you, I will use this as the enable. So after you've done that, just copy and paste it and change this to ripple enabled. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. You don't need to delete it, just use that. I'm gonna delete this as well. So add timeline, this one right here, and then double click on it. You'll have a timeline. Add a new track. You'll add a flow track. Hold shift, click on the curve, and then you'll add new keys. The first one is 0 0, the second one is 1 1, and then hold shift and select both of them and right click and hit auto. And then this one, after everything, goes into the play, and this update goes into the MC ripples and the ripple enabled, and the track goes into the parameter value. So every time the player is moving the character, it takes for like, oh no, not that one. The length is 1 second. I've put 1 second. The default value is 5. It takes 1 second for the effect to be completely visible, and it takes 1 second for the effect to fade away. That's the whole logic behind it. And for the reverse part, we need the effect to fade away when the character is not moving, or when the player is not using any controls that are related to the moving the character. In Unreal Engine 5, or in the third person character, we have the enhanced input action, and we have the completed this one right here, if you expand it, we have the completed function, so we can actually use that. Or if you don't have that, you can check and see if these are 0 together, maybe you can add them together, and if they are 0, you can just go ahead and put it into the reverse. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna delete this one, and I'm gonna show you what I've done here. I don't mind the ripple check, that's not important. This is what I've created at the moment, and you can just go ahead and see it. This is the whole logic, and then it should actually work. And then you can come in here and check if it's working. It's actually working very nicely. One thing to note is that if you see it fades away in a couple of seconds, if you don't have this one, updates, if you don't have this one, then it will just go ahead forever. So we don't want that. We want the effect to fade away. Another important thing to note is that you can always go ahead and play around with the variables, play around with the textures. So for example, if you don't like the texture, or if you don't like how the effect is working, or if you don't like how the color palette is working in this normal map we've created, you can actually go ahead and change it, append it with something else, maybe add some noise to it. That would probably be more realistic, and that's it. Yeah, just make sure to go ahead and play around with everything. That's always the best case. Maybe you can get something better, maybe you will definitely get something better than this. This is pretty basic, and that's actually it. I hope this helps someone, and I wish you a great day. Bye.